All right, everyone. Welcome back to episode 6 of the Boston Mandate. Uh, it's been a little while. I do apologize for the delay in getting another episode out to you all, but hopefully you've all been well and are excited to dig in. By way of reminder, we had just began the month of June. We're here on Friday, June 12th, so we are here now a couple weeks behind the real life 2026 season and where the Red Sox currently are. And we've had a fantastic June to start off the month of June in 2026. We are 9-1 in our last 10. We're 8-1 in the month of June. So we have really begun to turn things around and put ourselves in a spot to be somewhat contending for an AL wildcard spot at this point. Just one game, again, under 500, and 2 games back of a wildcard spot currently. So the team has trended in a positive direction for us to not be in a sense a full sell-off mode in July at this point. Again, the pitching staff is being what the pitching staff has been for the Red Sox in the 2026 season, and that is nothing but superb. The bats are still not probably where we would want them to be. We are 4th in the AL from a batting average perspective. Our power honestly is lacking in that position. 15th in the American League, so that probably places us dead last, if not dead last, at just 56 home runs. So we do have some needs potentially in the lineup now. Again, with Roman coming back and maybe getting a little healthier the next week or two, maybe we'll see some more positive momentum within the lineup to have some power show up in some more of the traditional places in the lineup. But we're going to look to get right into things. We are starting a new series. We had just wrapped up. Let me hop over to our calendar if I can get there. And you can see here, this is what we've done so far in June. Just to recap quickly, a sweep of the Orioles where our offense carried us. Some really good wins against the Yankees, a sweep of them at Yankee Stadium. Really carried mainly by the pitching. The pitching staff only allowed 5 runs in 3 games, so you're going to win a lot of series in typically in that scenario where your pitching is carrying you that well. And then we took 2 of 3 against Tampa. We had an off day on Thursday, June 11th, and now we are hosting the Texas Rangers in Fenway. So now we're back home in Fenway where we haven't been playing all that well, unfortunately. The team has had a few folks come back from injury, mainly in our bullpen. We're carrying a handful of lefties in the bullpen as well as in the rotation. So we got quite a lefty pitching staff. Sandoval, Colomb, we'll have to keep an eye on those situations as they maybe transpire the next handful of weeks. Obviously, Chapman, if the team does take a bit of a dip, maybe we look to deal Chapman, get some tremendous value out of him with the season that he's having. And again, his contract situation is very favorable from a team perspective into 2027. So there's no buyout to pick up that team option. Again, if he's healthy, if you can get a top 2, 3, 5 at worst closer for a year at $13 million, that's a bargain. So again, I think he's going to have some value unless some sort of injury creeps up in the next handful of weeks. But again, at this point, unless I'm wowed by a position player or something of a need that the team has that can set us on a trajectory, not only for this year, but for the immediate near future, I think Chapman will remain a Red Sox. I think he's very loyal to the organization, loves being a Bostonian in a sense. All right, so let's take a quick look. I wanted to take a look at the mail bag just to see what our assessment was on this series, if I can find it quick. If not, we won't worry about it too much. But I would have thought we would have... Here we go. Upcoming opponent, the Rangers. We have a 3-game series at home. We got Suarez against Eovaldi. Connolly early against Kumar Rocker. And he has a sore elbow, so I'd be wondering if they don't pitch him in Game 2. And then Peyton Tolley against Mackenzie Gore, who they picked up in the offseason, I do believe. So we are facing two of their top three. Their top five players is pretty hefty on the pitching side of things. But for facing both Eovaldi and Mackenzie Gore in this series, so I'm very excited to dig in, see if we can carry this momentum further. Now that we're back home, getting into the bit of, in the sense, kind of summer kicking off here soon, the summer months, and seeing what this team will do. So let's hop through this game one. Let's see what we can do here in game one. It looks like we got a loss. It looks like we lost 8-3. So not an ideal start to the series, but again, is what it is. It does look like we had an injury as well. Durbin got nicked. It's not one of those injuries. It's a strained abdominal muscle. We technically probably wouldn't have to put him on the DL. It's a minimal injury, so he can still play. It's more of a day-to-day injury that's probably going to nick him a little bit and have him be a little less effective. He's not in our rotation. He's not a starting. He does currently, I guess, starting at second. So he is out there, being a day-to-day player. Again, we have, Kiner Falefa that we could technically force start at second while he's, got this kind of nicked injury. The other thing I want to keep an eye on from an organizational standpoint is that Romy Gonzalez is currently on a rehab assignment in AAA. So I'm thinking at some point Romy's going to come up and take that spot at second. Maybe he's not an everyday player, but again, looking at what he did in 2025 over the 96 games, so that 2.1 WAR, that's doing far better than what Durbin has done so far for us this year. Now, in real life, Durbin has really spun it around the last month of June, maybe into late May as well. He's really kind of picked up the bat, so he's more acclimated now to Boston and is really being a plus offensive player for them. That really hasn't panned out for us in this unrealistic simulation game. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. I think at this point, I'm not going to make a roster move. We'll just let the manager play him as they see fit. We have obviously Sogard, Isaiah Kiner Falefa, IKF, and then obviously even the backup catcher Connor Wong can probably spot start at second as well. So we'll just keep an eye on it, but it's really going to maybe open up a spot for Romy to come up maybe in a week or so, maybe closer to 10 days. And because if Durbin continues to not play well, and I'm not going to blame the injury on it, but it can basically say the injury plus your poor offensive output this year, we got to make a decision. We got to move you down to AAA to see if you can figure things out at the dish. All right, let's take a quick look at this box score from the first game. The 8-3 loss, not ideal by any means. And yeah, here we go. Suarez pitched well. Sandoval did not. He gave up no earned runs. Faced 9 batters in 1 inning and threw 44 pitches. So that's just an unbelievably rough outing. There was an error on Navarez. Interestingly enough, our really solid catcher makes a mistake that really hurts us. Our bullpen really let us down in that game to where after really 5, 6, 7 innings, we were in a pretty good spot, and things just fell apart thereafter in the 7th and the 8th. But again, a lot of those runs were unearned. Obviously, Colomb took a beating with 2 runs, and then we brought in Slayton to pitch an inning and a third to get us out of the game. So not a great way to start that series. Let's see if we can bounce back here on Saturday the 13th and get ourselves a dub. We got Oviedo's also able to come back. Looks like we lost maybe again 8-3. I'll have to take a look at it. I don't know if that's... It might be another kind of message from the Friday, so I'm not sure on that yet. I'm just taking a quick look at Oviedo. I like his profile a bit. He's got the plus fastball, plus slider, so he got 2 really positive pitches. I think at this point what we'll do with Oviedo, honestly, is just a quick rehab assignment, just to keep our options open. But I can see something occurring there. Got a bunch of scouting reports, I think, continuing to come in. So I think at this point, I'm just going to quickly click through all of these to have them be read. But again, back an episode or two ago, I let you guys know that we had made that organizational move in the front office. If I can get there. To show you the personnel, and we brought in that new scouting director, Tom McNamara, to fill that role. So again, coaching staff were in good shape. Again, at some point, maybe later this year in the summer, maybe around the All-Star break, I'll probably take a look at some of the coaches that we have in our rookie leagues, probably even kind of more in the A-ball leagues, to really focus there. Making sure we just have some good coaching staff there. The coaches that are through 2027, I mean, it's not a lot of money to eat to let go of those. Now, obviously, the ones that are a little longer than that, like the Kyle Hudson at 205 for a few more years, that's going to hurt to just eat the money. So we'll kind of to see. It'll be probably more something that we might do after the trade deadline to see where things net out. Did we go out and try to get a piece and use up some of the available money we have? Or did we get some salary off the roster to where we now have some available money? And then we can kind of just determine, let's get some coaching in to really set up us from a long-term perspective so we can keep an eye on that as things develop. The Saturday game has not yet played, and I think now it will. 4-1 win, so a nice bounce back. W for us, obviously the pitching carried the way. Mackenzie Gore pitched well, but obviously was outdueled by our young lefty stud Connerly Early. He threw 8 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 10 Ks. Did really well and handed the ball to Chapman to get us the W there. Let's take a quick look at the lineup. Abreu played well. Durbin came in just to kind of play third base towards the tail end of the game. Marcelo Meyer had a decent game. Casas is still not getting the bats around. He had a couple of walks, scored a run, struck out once. So, to get on base a fair clip is good for him. Rafaela pitched well, 2 for 4, scored a run, left a man on base. But a nice solid bounce back win for us there to get us back to play the rubber game here on Sunday. So this is Sunday Night Baseball. How exciting. Rangers, Texas from Fenway. Let's tune into that one, everyone. And our Sunday game, we got a game save going as well. And it looks like we lost 6-2, which is unfortunate. Oh, so unfortunate. We got Contreras coming back off of injury, which is fantastic. He was out for like 10 days or so, I believe it was. We had him on the IL a little longer, but he was nicked. Looks like Jack Leiter pitched game 3 and pitched a doozy of a game. 8 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 7 Ks. Pitched really well and outdueled, honestly. Totally didn't pitch horrible. 6 innings, 4 runs. It's a little rough. 10 hits is quite a bit to give up, so quite a few base runners. But the bullpen pitched decently well. We just couldn't get any of the bats going, really. To keep us in this game, we just got, in a sense, almost like the storyline of the Red Sox in 2026. If they get down by 3, 4, 5 runs relatively early on in the game, they just don't have the offensive firepower. And obviously, currently with our lineup without Contreras, who's probably our best hitter, probably our best hitter in the lineup, we're going to be in a tough spot. So that's unfortunate. That's our first series loss of the month of June, which does tell you how good of a June we've had. But it does begin to maybe sway the momentum a little bit. Again, to lose the series again at home is unfortunate. We got the Toronto series here coming up. That's another team kind of near us or in front of us, obviously in the standings. That it would be nice to get a series win at minimum. So Contreras, we got to bring up. We got to make a couple decisions here as to what we'd like to do. I want to take a quick look at what Romy's done so far in AAA. he is not getting the bat going so far. So I'm not going to rush him back. He's got plenty of time on the IL at this point to kind of figure things out. I'm going to take a look at, we got 13 players currently on our 13 of the 26 are batters. I'm trying to think what we should do. I really think, who's playing DH for us? Duran is playing DH. We brought Casas up once. He got nicked. Casas is at an 85 WRC plus. He's not pounding the ball by any means. But what I think the move is going to be, it's just that personality class of Durbin, that spark plug. I kind of like the thought of still having that in. He's still got that strained abdominal muscle, though. I think I'm just going to play it smart, and I'm going to put him on the injured list. It's going to be retroactive again to the 14th, and it's a 10-day stint. But that opens up a spot for us really easily to get to bring up from the injured list Contreras. So it makes that decision really easy. I'm now very curious as to what we do. We're going to ask the coach, Chad Tracy, to make our lineups for us, and this is what he's done. So let's take a quick look at what we have for a lineup now. We got Abreu, Roman Anthony, and Wilson Contreras. Contreras is going to DH. I think I'm fine with that decision. Casas is going to play first. We got Rafael in center, Meyer at short, Monasterio at third, Navarez and IKF playing second. I'm happy with that. I think at this point, again, IKF plays a fine second base, kind of a slappy hitter, but its defense up the middle probably will help us out even a little bit with Meyer still really trying to probably really lock himself into the everyday shortstop position. So I'm okay with that. Casas in the 4 spot with that good power, good eye. Hopefully he can really grab hold of that. He plays a decent catching, or a decent first base, I should say. And then we got Contreras playing DH. He's probably maybe even a little bit better of a first baseman, technically. Doesn't have quite the arm, so I'm okay with the decision there, though to have him more of the bat. Because again, if this team struggles, his contract is very tradable, is what I should say, for the offensive output that he's put up so far at a 146 WRC plus the 299 batting average. So again, if things get a little rocky in the next few weeks, maybe Contreras is already finding himself out on the trade block as well, just because of the situation we're in. Let's take a quick look at the standings. I want to see if really anything extremely negative occurred for us because of this. We're still 2 games back. The Blue Jays are right in front of us, so if we can do really well there in that series, that could be a value. The Rangers at 32 and 39 now. It's just unfortunate that a team that we have a better record than kind of nicked us in that series at home, which is a little unfortunate. Let's see, some updates. We got a trade proposal. Let's take a quick look at that. Trout, player of the week. Again, still a player that I have so much interest in a sense. Just to bring him into Fenway, I think would be so fun as that right-handed bat with some good power from that side. And just the personality that would be as well. But I don't know that contract, if there's really anything that we can do there to have that make sense at all. Let's see what the Rangers offered us. So they're going to send us a 24-year-old minor league third baseman, Max Wagner, a 21-year-old reliever, Bernardo Rivera, a 17-year-old catcher, so he's a mile away, and it's a 28-year-old minor leaguer center fielder, Matt Frazier. So we're giving up somebody who's really, more of just a slappy bat, defense, I mean, I wouldn't really call this guy a center fielder. He's more of an outfield arm, like a corner outfielder, because he just doesn't have awesome range. At this point, I don't know why we wouldn't do this trade, in all honesty, because we're getting a handful of prospects back that may not pan out in any way, shape, or form. There's a 17-year-old catcher here who is fine defensively from a catching standpoint. There's really nothing in the bat. If the bat would fully develop, there's maybe a little bit of something there. But he's 17 years old, so he's so far away. There's really no like outstanding skill there that says, hey, this is going to be a stud player. The Max Wagner, so he's 24. He is just really not developing. A little bit of a speed profile, but again, really nothing defensively. I wouldn't even. He's more of a DH, but doesn't even really have a bat to carry him. Now he might have some potential power there, at least average power. But his contact profile is pretty rough, and he doesn't have an awesome eye to go with it. And as you can see here in Double-A, I mean it's a little bit above league average from a Double-A perspective, but nothing great. And he's 24, so it's like how much more is there for him to develop? 21-year-old reliever. There's not a whole lot here either. He's got 2 pitches that can develop. Throws right. 93 to 95 velocity is his potential, so he doesn't even throw too super hard. Again, nothing great there. So I mean, this deal, we're not getting a lot. We're just getting more chips for a player that, for them, maybe they see they could slot him in somewhere. Again, this guy does have a decent speed profile, but I wouldn't play this guy, I don't think. AAA bats left, 28 years of age. What's his personality for us? Nothing stands out. We got a low scouting on him, which is what's rough. What's the OSA? The OSA has him at a 45-2, or a 40, I'm sorry. He does have a speed profile to him. I think at this point, just for us to get maybe some more additional assets in AAA and things of that nature, I think we'll accept the deal. Again, the 28-year-old center fielder, he's not part of our future, I don't think. So we'll accept it. Maybe if anything, it maybe just helps our trade, our trading reputation, that we're willing to do some deals. So. I don't think it really hurt us. Anyway, it's a player that we probably weren't going to promote. He wasn't going to be an everyday center fielder, and he's not a very good corner outfielder. So, guy can come up and steal a bag for us, but other than that, I don't see a whole lot there. All right, so we're going to skip this Monday here. We'll finish this day, get us a day of rest here, rest day, travel day for a team to come in, and this is a big series, so it'd be really nice for us to get through this one with a sweep, or at least 2 of 3. We got Sonny Gray, Dylan Cease, Cutter Crawford, Trey Savage, Ranger Suarez against Gossman. I'm excited. We got our DH back. We got Contreras back in the lineup. So this lineup, I mean, this is pretty much, is it the A lineup that the Red Sox have at this point? Probably. So we're going to now see really what we have offensively to put out there in the field. We got a player designated for assignment that we got to move. All right. We did get a win, 2-1. So the offense didn't wow us, but the pitching did what the pitching has done. All right. So Jack Anderson, again, he's cleared waivers. So we have to, hopefully he just accepts this, that we can just move him down to Double-A. Yeah, so that was easy enough. So nothing really to chat much there about. Let's take a quick look at this box score. Monasterio, 2 for 3. Who got us the ribbies? Sedan and Sogard. Sogard played second, got us a run in. Kind of Falefa had an error, interestingly enough. Where did So he came into play short. He moved over. Oh, he moved. They moved Meyer to third late in the game, and then Kiner Falefa came into play short late. Sonny Gray, 7 1/3. Solid work. I love it. A 66 game score. Excellent. Gray to Whitlock to Chapman. Chapman 3 Ks, faced 4 batters through 19 pitches, and struck out the side. What a guy. What a guy. All right, that finishes the Tuesday. Now we got a 6:45 start game for game 2 and another win 5-4. Excellent. So they scored 3 in the top of the 9th to go up at that point 4-3. We scored 2 in the bottom of the 9th. Roman Anthony with a 2-run single off of Louis Varland, who blew the save. Excellent. Roman Anthony, the second hit of the game, scores 2, a walk-off win. Casas with 2 hits, 3 runs batted in. I like it a lot. I think, if anything, what this lineup at the top is going to do is Abreu, Anthony, and Contreras. That's really, I think, going to set the stage, because that's quite, that's some good hitters to face for the pitching staff on the other side of the field to have to deal with. And it should allow guys like Casas, Rafael, and Meyer to get some pitches then to hit if they kind of dance around some of those guys. Should set the stage, and hopefully for a guy like Casas, it creates some opportunities to where he can really shine offensively. But really the damage came from our top of our lineup, all of the RBIs through those first 4 or 5 hitters, which I'm fine with. The lineup's a little top-heavy. It is what it is at this point. Cease pitched really well. I mean, gave up 3 earned runs, but struck out 12. So he's just got good stuff. Cutter Crawford, I mean, this guy's been pitching out of his mind since he come up. It's unfortunate he didn't get the win there in that series. Chapman struggled. And then Whitlock came in to finish out the top of the 9th and then got the W. Because of the offense. So first nice start to that series with 2 wins. See if we could sweep them. And we do, 10-3 win. So here the bats are out alive in full force now. So this is excellent, because this puts us in a really nice spot with them right in front of us in the wild card standings for us to come through. Ranger Suarez pitched really well. Justin Slayton finished off the game 2 innings. Gave up a couple of runs, but we had such a big lead it wasn't a huge deal. The offense, Anthony a home run, Contreras a home run, Casas a home run, Abreu a home run. So there's the big guys right at top, again, top of the lineup. I mean, everybody on the team had hits. A lot of them had multiple hits. Excellent game out of Wilson Contreras. Obviously, you love the home run. I think Abreu had a home run too, right? He sure did in the 8th inning. Hit one off of Justin Hoffman? Jeff Hoffman, who's a really good reliever. So excellent work. I like it. We didn't have a lot of strikeouts, just 5 guys struck out. No one struck out more than once. Excellent. Love it. A 3-game sweep of the Jays. Again, a ton of scouting reports are coming in. We'll have to just take a quick look at the team a little bit. Looks like we scouted Matt Frazier, which we did it probably before he left. But obviously the assessment wasn't very high on him. Like, he could spot start, come up for an injury, but nothing that you would probably want to kind of mess with on a day-to-day basis for too long. So this has us now, another shocking development. So we took over this team in that 5th place spot in the Eastern Division. We've moved ourselves up 2 spots now. We're 10 games back in the division, so we still got quite a bit of wood to chop there. But now we only got the Yankees and the Rays ahead of us in the division. And from a wild card spot, we are, I guess technically, do we have a wild card spot? Does that mean that we do? I think it does. Yeah, because I think 6 teams would get in, and we would hold that last wild card spot. So we've moved ourselves fully into contention now to not have to be a seller. If anything, we might be in a position to acquire, really cement ourselves to be the upper echelon of that wild card positioning, and then to make a run. So the team has really turned things around in the month of June, as we just continued that momentum at this point with a 12-3 record in June. So I think we'll just cut it here for this episode. Focus on those two series. Again, a bit of a rough one against the Rangers and losing two of three. But then to sweep the Blue Jays puts us right into contention again, and continues our momentum here in the month of June. So when we come back, the next episode will obviously look to pretty much probably close ourselves out for the month of June. We'll probably try to get through the rest of June to get us pretty much up to current day and really begin to set our sights on the month of July and where the team will focus on for maybe some acquisitions. Maybe we do trade an asset to kind of acquire some additional talent for today's team and for the future as well. But we'll keep an eye on all of those things as we move forward. Appreciate you all tuning in. Take care.